Hey everyone, this is Exploring Fiction, and welcome back to another video.
Hey, before we get to the video, check this out. 99% of my viewers are not subscribed. If you're a part of that 99%, please consider subscribing, as I would love to have you here. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
So recently I saw Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I just wanted to give you some quick thoughts I had about it. So there will be spoilers ahead for Doctor Strange 2, so you have been warned. So guys, after seeing Doctor Strange 2, my thoughts on it were that it was great visual spectacle. Honestly, as a creator and writer myself, a lot of the visual spectacle I saw in this movie gave me inspiration for ideas and characters and just things to write about. So I really liked the visuals of this movie and kind of the wackiness of the multiverse. That was probably the strongest positive for me. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was again great as Doctor Strange, and Elizabeth Olsen was great as Scarlet Witch. And I'm glad I didn't really go into this with a lot of built-up expectations because I really didn't. So the few little cameos and drops that we saw, I was not I was surprised by it and not underwhelmed by. But let me just say, guys, this movie feels like MCU Phase 4, and I mean that in kind of a bad way. I feel like each phase of MCU has had a sort of feeling to it, and for me, MCU Phase 4 has just kind of felt formulaic and very in the box, if that makes any sense. Like, all these Marvel movies are starting to feel the same. You hear people, normies, say that a lot, but honestly, Phase 4 movies have all honestly felt a lot of the same. But anyway, with that note out of the way, let me just get back to talking about the actual film. I thought America Chavez was an okay addition to this film. I thought she was basically a MacGuffin, being a multiverse traveling character and the only one who could really do so. So I thought she was okay for what she did in the film. She wasn't really outstanding to me, but I'm not really well versed on the character, so I don't even know if that's her real power in the comics, which I doubt it is, but she was okay. I thought that the zombie Doctor Strange at the end, with him using those undead spirits as his wings, was really cool. And I thought those cameos, like I said, of the Illuminati were very fun. I just hated to see them get dismantled the way they did. John Krasinski as Reed Richards was what we've been asking for forever, so hopefully we see him return in the real MCU universe. Seeing Professor X, played by Sir Patrick Stewart again, was nice. And honestly, this movie gave me the closest thing we'll ever get to horror in the MCU, so that was pretty cool. Which we've seen with Scarlet Witch before, like in Age of Ultron. And moving on to Scarlet Witch, I thought this movie, using her as a villain, was a great idea, although it felt kind of rushed in execution, and Doctor Strange felt kind of dumb to me. He felt dumbed down, like he couldn't recognize that Wanda was the villain. But like I said, this movie, it felt like Wanda was the perfect villain, and for me it just solidified that Wanda was the villain of WandaVision. So all these people talking about how Wanda slash Scarlet Witch was justified with her whole ordeal enslaving a town for her personal fantasy in WandaVision is just bogus. I think that she is the villain, and this path continued her being a villain. And if people are still trying to argue for her being some sort of hero or tragic figure, I think that's wrong. I think that the MCU is going in the wrong direction of people they're putting on a pedestal as heroes. I mean, Spider-Man's still great. Shang-Chi was a good hero, but Scarlet Witch, I'm I don't think that she's a good person to look toward as a hero, and I think if we continue to see Marvel treat their heroes as villains who are wacky or funny or who should be treated with more sympathy, I think that's not a good sign. Because again in this movie, Wanda wants her kids back who were never real in the first place. They were a figment of her powers and imagination. And she's hunting through the multiverse wanting to enslave and possibly kill America Chavez to gain her powers, to find a universe where she can live with her kids, even though she would technically be killing another version of herself. And so, I think this movie solidifies Wanda as a villain at this point in the MCU, which I'm okay with. I just think that people defending her is a bit absurd. So, guys, in conclusion, I know this video is kind of all over the place, so I'm sorry for that, but if you've been around this channel long enough, you know that I don't really have too much structure to my review slash thought videos. I just kind of get everything out there and hope that we can discuss in the comments. But in conclusion, I thought Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a great visual spectacle that if you turn your brain off, you can kind of just enjoy looking at it. I thought Cumberbatch and Olsen were great as Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch once more. I thought that the story was okay. It felt pretty rushed. The few cameos and scenes we did get with new or existing characters that we haven't seen in a while were good, and if you don't go in with too many expectations, you'll find them satisfying. I thought that Wanda was a good villain, but we shouldn't keep trying to think of her as a hero. So guys, leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment below if you want to talk about this movie or the MCU in general, because I love discussions in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. I would always love to see you here back on this channel, and I will see you all next time.